All right, let's dive into something you use every single second you're online, but probably never even think about: the humble data packet. These are the secret messengers, the unsung heroes that make pretty much everything on the internet possible.
I mean, really think about it for a second. How on earth does a massive file, we're talking gigabytes of data, get from some server halfway around the world to your screen, like instantly and perfectly? The logical guess, right, is that it's sent as one giant chunk.
But yeah, that's not how it works at all. In fact, sending it all at once would be a terrible idea. Super slow and just wildly inefficient. The actual secret is so much cooler.
That's right. That huge movie file or your emails or even this explainer you're watching right now, it's all been chopped up into thousands, sometimes millions of tiny individual pieces. They all travel across the internet on their own and get put back together on your device. And every single one of those pieces, it's called a packet.
So a packet is basically the fundamental building block of the internet. By breaking these enormous files into these small, manageable chunks, the whole network can move information with incredible speed and reliability. Honestly, they're the lifeblood of all online communication.
Okay, so what's actually in one of these things? A packet isn't just a random bit of data. Nope, it's a very organized little package. The best way to think about it is like a digital envelope.
And just like an envelope, every packet has two main parts. You've got the payload, that's the actual letter, a tiny piece of that movie or email you're waiting for, but the real magic, that's in the header. The header is the envelope itself. It's got all the crucial info, like where it's from and where it's going, the IP addresses. It also has other key details, like a sequence number, which tells your device exactly where this tiny piece fits in the giant puzzle. And trust me, that little number is so important, as we're about to see.
But why? Why go through all this trouble of chopping everything up and putting it back together? Well, it turns out this whole system is the absolute key to making the internet work for millions of people all at the same time. Just for a second, let's imagine a world without packets. Picture trying to download that 4K movie as one massive, continuous, unbroken stream of data flowing across the network.
It would be total gridlock. That one person's massive download would create a digital traffic jam, completely blocking the highway for anyone else who's just trying to send a quick email or load a simple web page. It would be an absolute nightmare.
And this is exactly why packets are so brilliant. First, you get fair bandwidth sharing. All those tiny packets from different people can be woven together on the network. It's why in your own house, someone can be on a Zoom call while another person is streaming Netflix and someone else is gaming online, all at once. No one person can hog the whole connection. And second, it makes fixing errors super efficient. If one tiny packet gets lost on its journey, and it happens, the system just has to resend that one little piece, not the whole gigabyte-sized movie file. It's an incredibly smart and resilient system.
So we know what packets are and why they're so important. Now let's follow one of these little guys on its grand journey across the internet.
The main characters in this story are the routers. You can think of them as the super fast, super smart post offices of the internet. Their entire job is to look at the address on a packet's header and send it along to the next stop.
Here's how it plays out. First, your device breaks your file into all those little packets. A packet leaves your computer and hits the first router. The router instantly reads the destination address, figures out the best path, and forwards it to the next router in the chain. That router does the exact same thing: read, decide, forward. And this happens over and over, with the packet hopping from router to router, across cities, even under oceans, all in just a fraction of a second.
Now, getting all the pieces to the right address is only half the story. The real trick is putting them all back together again, in the right order.
And this is where your own device, your computer, your phone, gets to be the hero of the story. It becomes this master puzzle solver, patiently waiting for all the little pieces to arrive so it can rebuild the original file.
Now here's the really wild part. Because different packets can take different routes across the internet to be more efficient, they almost never arrive in the right order. Packet number 57 might show up way before packet number 12, but that's totally okay. This is where that little sequence number in the header saves the day. Your device looks at that number on every packet and uses it to flawlessly reassemble all the pieces in the correct sequence, perfectly recreating the original file. It's amazing.
And that's why this whole concept is just so foundational. As this quote from our source material puts it, once you really get your head around packets, you're starting to understand the very basis of how our modern world actually functions.
It's incredible when you stop and think about it.
every single thing you do online, from a quick Google search to a video call with someone on the other side of the planet, it is all powered by this simple, elegant idea. Break things down, send the pieces, and put them back together again.
But that leaves us with one last, nagging question. We know your device uses those sequence numbers, but what's the actual protocol? What's the system that guarantees not a single packet gets lost for good, and that everything is always reassembled perfectly? Well, that is a story for another explainer.